just wanted to start by telling a little story about two fishermen fishing on a riverbank. Well, after a while, the first fisherman notices that every time the second fisherman catches a big fish, he throws it back in the water. Well, after a while, he begins to get a little upset at the wastefulness, and he turns to him and asks why he keeps throwing away these fabulous catches. And the second fisherman turns to him and says that he only has an 8-inch frying pan. Well, I think we've all kind of been in that situation, right, where opportunities will present themselves to us, or maybe they're right outside our reach, but we don't see ourselves as the kind of person that gets that kind of opportunity, or we don't think we have the right kind of tools to use that opportunity. Well, today I'm here to tell you a little about my journey with classical music and how this dream I have of one day becoming a great orchestral trombone player has allowed me to transform my 8-inch frying pan into one that I think is large enough to cook any fish that I can catch. How I really gave myself a childlike faith in my potential and brought my life from rather subpar to extremely fulfilling. Now, when I say childlike faith, what do I mean? Well, what's a child's dream like? You know, if you go to a kindergarten class, ask them what they want to be when they grow up. What do you hear? I want to be a doctor, or I want to be an NBA player, or I want to be the president of the United States, for crying out loud, right? They don't think about what's possible, or, you know, what's going to go pay the bills when they get out of school in 4 years. And, I mean, they don't even understand what no means. I mean, you guys, I'm sure you had kids like this, or maybe you were this kid, or maybe you still are this kid, who would, your parent would be like, now, Johnny, no cookies until you finish dinner. Well, you go to get a load of laundry out, right? And you come back, and what's Johnny doing? He's up on a stool reaching in the cookie jar getting the cookies, because Johnny doesn't understand no. Johnny doesn't understand what's possible. Johnny just goes for what he wants, and most of the time he'll get it. Childlike faith. I grew up the youngest of three with two older sisters. My oldest sister, extremely high achieving in school. She had 4.5 AP classes, fantastic standardized test scores, right? Went on to graduate from the most prestigious college within her degree field, and now lives the comfortable life as a member of Google's homepage art team. Job title, I understand, is referred to as the Google Doodlers. My other sister, same story in high school, right? 4.5 GPA, AP classes, fantastic standardized test scores. Most recently graduated from the Ohio State University, magna cum laude, with 1 major and 2 minors. So safe to say I had a pretty high-achieving family, with maybe me being the exception. If you ask my parents about me growing up, you might hear the word, like, problem child, perhaps. You know, I didn't really push. I didn't really have any drive or want to work for anything, except for, I do play a pretty mean game of Mario Brothers, so. If I was to put a picture of myself up there from freshman year, some of you might shake your head in disbelief, or maybe some of you would go get your pitchforks and torches and try to run me out of town. But I did not look anything like I look today, right? I had a shaggy, bushy, nasty bowl cut. I weighed 230 pounds, and I had a terrible attitude to go along with it. When I moved from 8th grade to high school, I became a member of the high school band, and all of a sudden I was in this fantastic community that my band director, still one of the greatest musicians and people that I think I've ever had the privilege to know, had created, where everyone wanted to work hard and give back and have discipline, hard work, and be a leader. And I fought it at first, I had a bad attitude about it, but it didn't last long. It couldn't have lasted long, and eventually I found myself wanting to contribute and try and be a leader. So, fast forward to the following year, I decided I was going to be the best in my high school. Went from terrible attitude to having a goal and actually believing in myself. And I worked hard towards it, and I achieved it. It gave me some faith in myself. I set a higher goal. The next year, I was going to be a member of the All-State Band. Achieved that. The following year, I would be principal trombone of the All-State Orchestra, which I achieved. I also had the privilege to be the principal trombone of the Cleveland Orchestra Youth Orchestra and tour Europe. I was able to apply these incredible lessons in faith that I'd learned through music to other things. Now I had lost weight, and I was in the best shape of my life. My relationships with my parents and friends and teachers and everything began to improve. And I say this not to brag or boast or to stroke my own ego here, but just to impress upon everyone how a simple shift in your mentality can create such outstanding changes for yourself. I truly believe that if music can save a kid who's as hopeless as I was, we haven't seen nearly the things that it can do yet. We need music in our lives. We need music in churches and sporting events, and we desperately, desperately need it in our schools and communities. I just want to challenge anyone out there who thinks they might be living with the 8-inch frying pan mentality to ask for a little more from yourself and expect a little more from yourself, because we all deserve it. I really do believe that anyone can achieve their dreams and aspirations with the simple combination of passion, hard work, lots and lots of faith, and a little bit of time. So thank you for taking your time to hear me today. I'm just gonna play a short piece for you guys, 2 movements. Andante Allegro, French piece by J.E.D. Barat.